Hi dear students, welcome back to computer science class. In our previous session we have seen keys in database, especially primary key and foreign key. Actually, what is a key? Key is simply a column used to identify rows in a table uniquely, right? What is a primary key? Primary key is an attribute or column which is used to identify tuples or rows in a table uniquely. And foreign key is a column or set of columns that matches the primary key or column or set of columns in another relation. We know we have a terminology primary key foreign key relationship, right? What is a master key? What is a master table? Master table is a table having primary key, and a slave table, a child table is a table having foreign key, right? Actually, the concept of key is mainly used to identify tuples in a table uniquely, as we store data in the form of tuple or row. And today we are going to discuss another very important topic, manipulating data. We know what we are doing is we are making use of database management system or relational database management system, RDBMS, to manage our data. We are dealing with manipulating the backend, managing the backend of a software. Backend means the place where we store and manage data, right? And we are making use of a language, structured query language. It's called SQL, or we can call it as SQL, okay? Structured query language to manage our backend data or our data, okay? So today we are mainly focusing on two sub languages of SQL. SQL is the main division, okay? Structured query language, and we have subdivisions of SQL. We have mainly two here for our syllabus. In our syllabus, data definition language, DDL, or data description language, and data manipulation language, DML. Okay, so we are going specific. We are going we are moving very close to the practical session. Okay, so just listen to me very carefully. Actually, you can define the structure as well as you can manage the data. You can define the structure of a database using DDL, data definition language commands, and you can manage data. We are not dealing with the structure, we are dealing with the data, okay, using DML, data manipulation language commands. First we can look at data definition language. It's also called data description language, but the most commonly used terminology is data definition language. Data definition language or DDL. Actually, the language, or it's a subset of SQL commands which is used to define the structure of a database. Just think of it. What we are going to do is we are going to store data in a table, right? We know the structure of a table. At the time of creating a table, we must have a specific number of columns, but rows can be added later, okay, which can be increased or decreased at any time, but we must have a specific number of columns at the time of creating a table. We must have a table name and column names, right? So just after that, we have how we are creating a table. Before looking at in detail of data definition language, let's look at the commands create, alter and drop. Create, alter and drop. What is create? Create is used to create a table, right? It associates with the structure or definition of a table. And the main division or the main difference between data definition language and data manipulation language is this. Data definition language deals with the structure or definition of database, and data manipulation language deals with the data itself, okay? Only the data, nothing else, which is not connected to the structure or definition. Structure or definition in the sense, what is the structure of a table? That the pattern, the layout, the structure or the definition. But data manipulation language deals with only the data contained in the table, okay? Looking at the commands, create, alter and drop. Create is used to create a table, alter is used to modify a table, and drop is used to remove a table. All these commands are associating with the structure or definition, okay? Then data manipulation language, you have select, used to select, retrieve information. Insert, used to insert data records. delete used to delete data records, update used to update, right? So we can have data definition language first, which defines the structure in DB database. A very simple example, using create, you can create a table, right? We have created a table named student, right? Student with roll number, name and marks, 3 columns. So using create command, which is a part of DDL, we can create a table. Okay. At present we have only 3 columns, roll number, name and marks. If you want to add one more column, grade, how are you doing it? Just by using alter. You know the term meaning of alter, altering a shirt, resizing the shirt, right? So which affects it, the structure or the definition of this shirt. That's it. So when we apply this alter command to the table for adding a new column grade, a new column will be added to the existing table student, right? That is what alter is. Then drop. You can drop the entire table. You can remove the structure or the definition of the entire table. Both the table definition as well as the data will be removed from the database, right? Okay, so these are the commands. It is very easy for you to remember it. CAD, card, CAD, DDL, card, DDL, data definition language, card. C stands for create, A stands for alter and D stands for drop. So these are the commands in DDL. And we know DDL and DML both are subset of structured query language. What? SQL, structured query language, and it is a language used to retrieve and manipulate data in relational database. You know what relational database is? Relational database management system. Relational means tabular or connecting tables, right? So this is the first type of subset of SQL commands, data definition language. Simply I can give you one more example for this. This is a board, right? This is a whiteboard. How can you create this board? Using create command, right? And I want to extend it. And now the size is not enough for me, so I want to extend it. So how are you doing it? Alter. We know it affects the structure of this board, right? Then drop. What is dropping? Removing, just destroying this board. Both this data, what I have written on the board, as well as the structure will be removed from the database, will no longer be there in the database. That is what DDL commands are. Okay. Simply we can say create is used to create a table with specific number of columns. Then alter is used to add one more column or drop an existing column. As I have told you, we have roll number, name and marks at present. If you want to add one more column, that is grade, we are doing it with the help of alter. If you want to remove an existing column, not existing table. Existing table is removed with the help of drop, and existing column can be removed. For example, that grade is no longer required. We can drop it out just by using alter. A column can be removed or added using alter. The complete definition of a table, all the columns, including all the columns, can be removed using drop command. Hope you understand the concept. Then data manipulation language. Actually, data definition language deals with the structure of the data, the pattern, the definition of the data or the table. But data manipulation language, it's somewhat a very simple concept. We are dealing with the data stored in the database. For example, we have, it's used to access and manipulate data. In our last example, we have inserted one data record, right? 1 Arun 100. 1 Arun 100. We know it's a row, and we can insert that row with the help of insert command. Using insert command, we can insert a row or a tuple, and using delete command, you can delete the records or the tuples or the details of students who have failed in an exam or who have scored less than 50 marks. Okay, and after applying delete command, those students will be deleted and remaining will be their access in the database or in the table. Okay, then update. For example, now you got 98 marks. Okay, and after rechecking you got 100. So you have to change we have to change 98 to 100. That change must be made permanent there in the database or in the table. So how we are doing it? Using update. So update is used to update the table, right? Update the data in a table. That is 98 can be changed to 100 using update. Then you have select. Select is used to display, used to retrieve data. At the time of applying create, alter, drop, update, delete, insert, the changes will be reflected in the database, but we cannot see it. If you want to view the database or the table, if you want to see the table, if you want to display the table, you have to use select. Okay, so DML commands are used to access and manipulate data. It's all about data, nothing else. It's all about dealing with the data in the table. Okay, then select is used to retrieval of information. Is used to retrieve information from the table. Retrieving means displaying. Just display the content. That's it. Okay. Then insert, used for insertion of information. 1 Arun 100 row. Okay. Then delete, used to deletion of row. Those who have failed can be deleted. Records of those who have failed can be deleted. Then update, used for modification of data. Then types of DML. There are two types of DML. Procedural DML and non-procedural DML. From the term itself we can define it. Procedural DML means we have to show the procedure, right? We have to specify the procedure. And non-procedural means we don't have to specify the procedure. And what is that procedure? In procedural, we have to specify what data is needed and how to get the data. We have to specify both what data is needed and how to get it. We have to specify the procedure. That's what how is. How means how to get. We have to specify the procedure. The procedure is needed. But in non-procedural, we have to specify only what data is needed. We don't have to specify how to get it, because how to get it is already defined. We don't have to define it. Okay. So these are the types of DML, procedural and non-procedural. In procedural, we have to specify what data is needed and how to get it. We have to specify how to get it, the procedure. But in non-procedural, we don't have to specify how to get it, but anyway we have to specify what to get. Okay, hope you understand the concept. I can make it some more clear. DDL and DML. Okay, DDL commands are used to make changes in the definition or the structure of the table. For example, if you want to manage data before managing data, you have to create a table first, right? So how we are creating a table? Using create. Okay, so at present we have only 3 columns: roll number, name and marks. Suppose we are planning to add one more column. We are doing it with the help of alter, because it affects the structure of the table, right? Just like extending this whiteboard, it affects the structure of the table. Then drop. Dropping means removing the entire structure. At the time of destroying this board, what happens? The board, the structure as well as what I have written, this is what data is, both will be removed. Okay, so these are the commands: create, alter and drop, and which is used to define the structure in a database. And we are making use of SQL, structured query language, which is used to retrieve and manipulate data in relational database. We know we are dealing with relational database or relational database management system. Okay, then data manipulation language, DML, and commands are, we know, which is DDL cards, DDL commands, card, DDL card. DDL stands for data definition language and card stands for create, alter and drop. The same way, how can you memorize this data manipulation language commands fast? DML UIDS. DML stands for data manipulation language, and UIDS. UID means update, insert, delete and select. UID, you know, UID, unique identification. Okay, but here it is update, insert, delete and select. You know, update is used to update the data record, like changing 98 to 100. Then insert, used to insert new data record. Data record means tuple or row. Then insert, then delete, used to delete a particular row or rows. As I've told you, we can delete the records or the rows of those who have failed in an exam, okay, or those who have scored less than 50 marks. Okay, then select. Select is somewhat very simple. It is used to display. the table on the screen, on the monitor. Okay, so these are the commands. And now let's look at the difference between alter and update. What is the difference between alter and update? Generalizing the term, we can say both are used to modify, right? But alter is used to modify the structure of a table and update is used to modify the data in a table. That's the difference, right? Alter is used to modify the structure. Example, adding a new column or removing an existing column. It affects the structure of a table or the definition of a table. But update is used to update, modify the data in a table. Modify the data in a table means we can change 98 to 100 or 100 to 98. Okay, we are changing, we are manipulating the data using update. And what is the difference between drop and delete? Drop and delete, using drop command, we are dropping the entire structure, right? Both the structure as well as the data will be removed from the database, right? But applying delete deletes some of the rows, not the entire data. We can delete the entire data, but the structure will remain there, right? Structure will still exist in the database. But applying drop, which delete or which remove both the data as well as the structure. When I drop this whiteboard, what happens? No reference exists. No reference, no longer exists. Okay? When I drop this whiteboard, this is the data. This is what I have written. This is the data. This data as well as the board will be removed, will be deleted, will be dropped. But applying delete, what happens? When I delete a row, a particular row or number of rows can be deleted using delete command, and which is connected with the data. We know all DDL commands, create, alter and drop, all are related to the structure or definition of a table. You know, you got the concept, right? Okay. Then data manipulation language, the commands like UIDs, right? Update, insert, delete and select, all are related to the data. Data manipulation, it's used to manipulate the data. And data definition, it's used to define the data or define the structure, right? Okay, that's a difference. And finally we have types of DML, procedural and non-procedural. In procedural we have to specify two things: what data is needed and how to get it, because how to get it is not specified by default. But in non-procedural we don't have to specify how to get it, we have to specify only what to get it. Okay, for example for procedural, what is that? Procedural. Non-procedural, example for procedural, we can have a real-time example. When you go to a hotel and order for some kind of coffee, coffee, you specify only what to get, right? You are not telling how to make it. You just tell the bearer what to get, right? That is what non-procedural is. You specify only what to get. But in procedural, suppose you're making it by yourself, making something by yourself, you must know what you're going to do and how to do, right? What you're going to do and how to do it, because it is procedural. You have to specify the procedure in addition to what to get. So that is what types of DML commands are: procedural and non-procedural. In procedural you have to specify what to get and how to get. In non-procedural we have to specify only what to get. Which one is easy? Of course non-procedural. We don't have to specify how to get it, we don't have to specify how to make it, we specify only what to get. Okay, so this is all about data manipulation or manipulating data. And we have seen two subset of SQL: structured query language commands, data definition language and data manipulation language. Data definition language commands are DDL, card, create, alter, drop. And data manipulation language commands UIDs, DML, data manipulation, UID, update, insert, delete and select. We know select is used to select, okay? Create is used to create a table, alter is used to either adding a new column or removing an existing column, and drop is used to remove the entire structure from the database. And all these commands are related to the definition or the structure of a table. Then data manipulation language commands all are dealing with related to the data. not about the structure. Okay, only dealing with the data in the database. What update is used to update the value 98 to 100 or 100 to 98. Insert it is to insert a new data record. New data record in the sense a new tuple or what, a row. Okay, then delete is used to delete particular rows or example those have failed in an exam. Okay, then select is used to display display our table or anything on the screen, on the monitor. Okay, then procedural and non-procedural DML. So this is all about the theory part. Okay, so this is all for the time being. You just go through it very thoroughly and seriously. Okay, then we will be looking at more on these topics. We'll have practical sessions. Okay, we are moving on to the practical sessions in the coming classes. So thank you for watching. Have a nice time. See you in the next video.